the world's top 10 largest empires in history. Number 10. The Xiongnu Empire. The Xiongnu Empire occupied an area of 3.47 million miles from the Manchurian region of present-day China to about the eastern limit of Central Asia. The empire lasted till the 1st century AD, when the Han Dynasty of China defeated it. Number 9. The Yuan Dynasty. The Yuan Dynasty emerged to rule China as the vast Mongol Empire broke up into separate empires in the mid to late 13th century. The empire lasted from 1271 to 1368, until the Ming Dynasty finally replaced it. It controlled all of present-day China, as well as Mongolia and the Korean Peninsula, for a total of 4.25 million square miles of territory. Number 8. The Umayyad Caliphate. Between 661 and 750, the Umayyad Caliphate was an empire that at its peak spanned 4.29 million miles squared, encompassing much of the Middle East and North Africa. It was one of the largest empires in history, with 29% of the world's population under its rule. Number 7. The Abbasid Caliphate. The Abbasid Caliphate was established in the mid-8th century when the Abbasids overthrew the previous Umayyad Caliphate. The Abbasid Caliphate stretched from the western border of India in the east to the coast of North Africa in what is now Algeria in the west, totaling 4.29 million square miles. The Abbasids ruled for centuries till their influence was finally eliminated in the early 16th century. Number 6. The Second French Colonial Empire. The Second French Colonial Empire was one of the largest in history, with its colonies and dependencies stretching across 4.44 million square miles at the peak of its power. The empire began in the early to mid-19th century, succeeding the First French Colonial Empire. Its largest possessions were in Africa, while smaller colonies were spread through the Americas, the Caribbean, and the South Pacific. Number 5. The Spanish Empire. Spanning nearly 5 centuries, 1492 to 1976, the Spanish Empire encompassed roughly 5.29 million square miles across much of Europe, Latin America, and North Africa. Though the Spanish Empire eventually ended with its dissolution in 1976, it remains one of the most impressive and enduring empires in history. Number 4. The Qing Dynasty. The Qing Dynasty is remembered for its impressive military campaigns, which saw the expansion of Chinese territory. During the Qianlong Emperor's reign between 1750 and 1790, China's borders were expanded to cover 5.68 million square miles, making them one of the most powerful imperial dynasties in history. Number 3. The Russian Empire. The Russian Empire was an immense political entity that held sway over large parts of Eurasia from 1721 to 1917. At its greatest extent in 1895, it measured 8.8 million square miles. During this period, the Russian Empire became a major European power and played a key role in ceasing Napoleon's annexation of Europe. The Russian Empire's borders stretched from the northern coast of Asia to the borders of present-day Afghanistan and Iran, and from the Bering Sea in the east to the eastern border of Germany in the west. Number 2. The Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire was one of the largest empires in history, stretching across Eurasia for an estimated 9.27 million square miles. The empire flourished from 1206 to 1368, playing a pivotal role in world history, with the unification of Mongol tribes under the leadership of Genghis Khan in the early 13th century. Within about a half century, the empire controlled a large part of Eastern Europe and most of Central Asia and China. Finally, the largest empire in the world, the British Empire. The British Empire had a profound impact on the world and its history. One can still see its influence today in many aspects of life, from language to culture to international relations. It was formed over several centuries through colonization, war, and trade, with much of its growth taking place during the 19th century. At its peak, it covered an estimated 13.71 million square miles, or around a quarter of the Earth's total land area, making it the largest empire in history, both in terms of population and territory.